2025 was supposed to be the biggest year in the WWE yet, but it's already been filled with botches, injuries, bizarre storylines, and one celebrity appearance so awkward we still haven't recovered. I'm Chris Apples from Aussie Cousins Wrestling, and these are the top 10 worst moments in the WWE for 2025 so far. If you love wrestling just as much as us Aussies, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments what you thought should have made this list. Number 10, Zelina Vega breaks Chelsea Green's nose. 2025 was supposed to be the year Chelsea Green made that women's US title her own. She had the look, the charisma, and she really tried to make the most of what little she was given creatively. But WWE just didn't meet her halfway. Her feud with Zelina Vega on SmackDown was more filler. Awkward promos, clunky segments, and matches that just didn't click. But nothing summed it up like what went down at Saturday night's main event in May. During a particularly rough bout, Zelina whiffs a 619 so badly that Chelsea looked confused as to what was happening. Zelina then decides to immediately retry it, only to land it directly on Chelsea's face, breaking her nose in the process. At least she got to use a cool glittery mask afterwards, I guess. Number 9, Bayley misses WrestleMania. There's always going to be snubs at WrestleMania, like Sami Zayn, Chelsea Green, and the Street Profits this year. Too many superstars, not enough spots. But some names should be automatic, and Bayley not being on the card this year, that just didn't sit right for a lot of people. In the months leading up to Mania, she was everywhere. Title matches on Raw, SmackDown, and even showing up in NXT. She was a true role model. She was even set for a last-minute tag team title shot with Lyra Valkyria against the Judgment Day. It wasn't perfect, but at least it was something. Until it wasn't. Before night 1 started, Bayley is mysteriously attacked backstage, pulled from the match entirely, and in walks Becky Lynch with a surprise return that surprised no one. It was great for Becky, sure, but for Bayley, one of the worst Mania snubs in years. Number 8, Jey Uso's bad night in Belgium. Winning the Royal Rumble in February was supposed to be Jey Uso's crowning moment, a shock win that felt like WWE was finally ready to go all in on main event Jey. And then Belgium happened. On the March 17th episode of Raw in Brussels, Jey had one job: squash Austin Theory and keep the momentum going. But the execution, it couldn't have been worse. He delivers a spear so soft, Michael Cole calls it a crossbody, and honestly, he wasn't wrong. Then, just to top it off, Jey goes for a dive over the top rope and gets stuck, flipping awkwardly to the floor in a moment that had the whole arena cringing. Thankfully, his feud with Gunther would later get very real thanks to a brutal beatdown of Jimmy Uso by the Big Austrian, but on this night, Jey looked anything but WrestleMania ready. Number 7, Kevin Owens succumbs to a neck injury. Kevin Owens has made a career out of beating his body to hell, and somehow still staying in the game. But it wasn't a ladder match with Cody Rhodes or an unsanctioned match with Sami Zayn that finally caught up with him. It was a pretty standard match against Rey Mysterio in January that started the slow descent. By April 4th on SmackDown, KO stood in front of the fans and announced he might need neck surgery. The crowd was stunned. This wasn't the passionate babyface KO, remember? This was the ruthless heel version, and even that didn't stop the heartbreak from setting in. The segment went quiet, raw, and unsettling because it really felt like this might be Kevin Owens' last ride for a long time. Number 6, the mass releases. Here we go again, the budget cuts. The same excuse we hear every year from a company worth billions, as more WWE superstars were shown the door. And in 2025, this list hit hard. Dakota Kai, Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, Gigi Dolan, Braun Strowman. Even rising stars like Jakara Jackson got their walking papers with no warning. Some found new paths in wrestling, but others were just gone. But you know who we're still furious about? Duke bloody Hudson back in January. Charisma? Check. Athleticism? Check. 6'5" Aussie power? Double check. WWE dropped the ball, but we know greatness when we see it. So to honor Duke, smash that like button and hit subscribe now, because Aussie Cousins Wrestling will always back our own. Number 5, John Cena versus R-Truth. R-Truth got to be a part of John Cena's final run as he saved him from a Randy Orton punt at Backlash. His childhood hero, no less. It was touching, and then it just fell apart. Cena turns on Truth at a press conference, not even on live TV, and they have a rushed match at Saturday night's main event that lasts 5 minutes. Cena wins easily, and just like that, Truth's contract isn't renewed. A fan movement forces WWE to rehire him, and he returns at Money in the Bank to cost Cena and Logan Paul their match. We get a rematch, and Cena just belts belts him in the face for a DQ. That's the feud, that's the story. Why did we even bother? Number 4, Charlotte and Tiffany's promo battles. If you love watching chaos unfold in real time, this was the Oscars slap of WWE promos. It all started on the March 21st episode of SmackDown with a split screen interview between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. And wow, Charlotte absolutely steamrolled her. Tiff couldn't get a word in, looking more like a deer in headlights than a champion, as Charlotte tore through her with what felt like completely off-script digs. But that was nothing compared to what came next. 2 weeks later, in front of a red-hot Chicago crowd, Tiffany finally bit back. She shocked everyone with the now infamous line, "You're gonna be just like you are outside the ring, alone." What is it now? 0-3? Before really quickly bailing. It was a brutal reference to Charlotte's real-life divorce. And then Charlotte fumbled the bag with a desperate, "Is that why Kaiser's in my DMs?" response. It was awkward, unprofessional, and captivating. Number 3, Liv Morgan's injury. Wrestling is dangerous, even when it shouldn't be. During a routine match against Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan took a simple drop toe hold, but something went horribly wrong. Her shoulder popped out on impact again, and this time it was bad enough to require surgery. It's devastating timing. Liv's been on fire in 2025, one of WWE's biggest stars, set for a major angle at Evolution across from Nikki Bella. She even faced off with Io Sky earlier in that night, but instead of a spotlight at the biggest women's event of the year, Liv was sidelined with her 3rd shoulder injury since 2022. From all of us at Aussie Cousins Wrestling, we're sending love and hoping for the strongest comeback yet. Number 2, the disastrous SmackDown from the 21st of February 2025. We're not exaggerating, this entire episode of SmackDown was an absolute car crash. Easily one of the worst shows of the Triple H era, and wouldn't you know it, it's also the night Road Dogg was revealed as a co-head writer. Everything from top to bottom was a mess. Jey Uso beat Drew McIntyre, despite Drew swearing he'd destroy every member of the Bloodline. So much for that. Carmelo Hayes and The Miz stumbled through a botch fest against LA Knight and R-Truth. Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae went way too long in a nothing match, and the tag division imploded with DIY versus Pretty Deadly ending in a no contest thanks to the Street Profits. Oh, and Liv Morgan versus Naomi never even happened. The cherry on top, The Rock creepily told Cody Rhodes he wanted his soul in a promo so bizarre even Cody looked confused. This episode was so bad. It earned the lowest cage match rating of the entire year. Well, at least until July. And number 1, Travis Scott's WrestleMania appearance. WrestleMania Night 2 main events. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena is not exactly setting the world alight, even if the crowd was absolutely raucous. And then Travis Scott showed up. Out of nowhere, Fiend blasted through the stadium speakers, and the crowd, hyped for The Rock, got punked. Instead, out comes Travis Scott just by himself, casually strolling to the ring, taking maybe close to an hour to do so. The match ground to a halt. Cena and Cody just stood there awkwardly waiting.
A few moments later.
Travis didn't factor into the finish, didn't hit a cool spot, didn't do anything really, except he did eat a huge crossroads. He looked like he had no idea why he was there, and it turned what should have been an all-time main event into an all-time flop. And that's our list for the worst moments in the WWE for 2025 so far. What made you cringe the most? What else should have been on this list? You let us know in those comments, where you also hit the like button and subscribe to Aussie Cousins Wrestling for more Aussie charm to your WWE content. And of course, check out the video that's on the screen right now, which will be the top 20 biggest losers in the WWE this year.